So, you just bought your first Snapmaker U1 printer. The question now is, what do you start printing with it? Do you just print toys and fidgets or find something useful to print around the house? Well, I have 5 items that I recommend you should print just to demonstrate the capabilities and the strengths of the Snapmaker U1. So let's get right to it. Before we start the list, there's one thing that you will not have to print, and that is a poop bucket. With the multiple tool heads, your poop waste will be drastically reduced. So unlike the other printers where one of the first things you need to print is a poop bucket or poop chute or something to collect all the waste you're getting, you will not need to do that. In the back of the printer is your poop bucket. And this will be more than enough to handle the poop that you possibly have from all the printing. So instead of that, what I recommend you to print is a dragon. So in other printers, one of the first things you print is the famous benchy, just to see how it works. Well, for the Snapmaker, their version of the benchy is that little dragon there. 4-color toy that you just dial it, find it on here and start the print. And this will demonstrate the power of the multiple tool heads. Because when you're all done printing, you will have 4 little pieces of poop in your bucket for the 4 different colors. So that is the first thing that I recommend that you print with your Snapmaker U1. The second thing involves it being an open frame printer. Now, Snapmaker does sell a cover for it, but that's $150. What you can do is you can go online and you found people that have printed a frame that just sits right on top of it. And then you take your patented IKEA Salam 12-gallon bucket from IKEA, just set it on, secures into place, and you have a cover. It will work just as fine and for much less cost. The third thing is to look at using multiple materials for supports. Now I know you can do that on other printers too, but here it's another strength that it helps to demonstrate. So what I did is this is a piece for a Highland Cow soap dispenser, and you see I've got lots of overhangs here, so I'll need supports. So what I did was this is a PLA material here, and I used PETG for the supports. Now when you go to the slicer program, you'll see that you can select supports for the materials, but you can also do it with just an interface here. And let's take a look at what that does. Okay, our print is done. Let's go in and take a look at it. Okay, there you see it. So the PETG is white. So all those white lines is the PETG interface. It looks, if you look back in the corner here, looks like one of the supports failed, but the rest look in good condition. So let's take it out and see how easily they are to remove. So let's see if that's true. Get it off the plate. Come off the plate really easy. Let's try removing some of these. Okay. The problem we have is that we have a lot of supports on the bottom, but they pop right off. There, for the most part, they're coming off pretty easy. It's just getting into these little ones. I think I need a needle nose plier to get into them. But the other thing is all the white comes off pretty easy. So for our next version of this multi-material is the ability to print two separate types of material. For example, a PLA and a TPU together. These different types of filaments don't normally like to go together, but there's a capability within the slicer that allows them to mesh together. And so for this, what I decided to try was this case for my Osmo 8 gyro for my phone that I use. And it fits right in there. And I printed this once, but I thought, what if I could put another softer layer in here to protect it? So what you have is a black PLA case with a TPU insert in here to give it a little softer cushion. And it was very easy to do. So let's take a look at how we go about doing that. Okay, here we are at the Snapmaker U1 slicer program. And as you see, I've already uploaded the case for the DJI Osmo 8. And so it's already listed as black PLA. But we want to make this inside part into the TPU to make a softer area for the to sit in. So very simple to do. You see number 2 is our generic TPU. So we just select it, go over here to the paint program, select the TPU. We want to make it fill, and we just click that area. And there you go. It's painted it for us. Okay? So there's one more thing to do before we slice it, and that's under the multi-material tab. The global, go under multi-material. Under the advanced settings, you see a thing here called beam interlocking. And if you look at that, it says it creates an interlocking structure to improve the adhesion between the filaments, between the PLA and the TPU. So let's slice it and take a look at it. Okay, so if we look at the layers as we go down here, you start to see the layers. Here's the TPU, here's the PLA, but you see this cross-hatching area where it mixes the PLA and TPU to make a stronger bond between the materials. So that's all you do, and then you take it to the print and print it out. The one thing I'll say is, and I won't go into it here, but for your TPU, you need to understand the settings. You need to keep it a slower setting and less retraction to make sure you get a good print quality on the TPU. And that's all there is to it. So for the last print, I want to do something that demonstrates a new capability that's being developed in the community, and it's gaining a lot of steam. But for this print, I want you to print a chicken. Yep, that's right, a chicken. But now look at this closer. If you see the colors here, you see a red, a pink, a green, a dark blue, an orange, a red, a black, a white. You see there's more than 4 colors here that can be printed off this Snapmaker U1. So how is it done? It's a new thing called full spectrum printing. And the way it came about is a Reddit user recently did a post about the possibility of creating more colors with just a 4-color base. And it's just dithering 2 colors together. So for example, if you use a yellow and a blue, you can make green. And also the principle that the human eye cannot detect anything less than 0.1 millimeter difference. So if you could do this layering at a layer height of 0.08, you could create more colors. This principle came out, and within a couple hours, another Reddit user had already created a fork of the Snapmaker Orca slicer that incorporated this capability into it. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Now, this is a new concept, and there's a lot of bits to it, but here is a very basic infographic that describes it. you have your 4 colors, and what they usually use is the CMYK kit with cyan, magenta, and yellow, and then a key contrast color, either a white or black. So that's your base color. And then you do dithering. So for example, like I said, if you do a yellow and a blue, a yellow and a blue at the 0.08 layer height, it will look like a green. And you can do that for all different combinations of all these filaments. You can do 3 of the filaments together to try to create other colors. And there's still going to be limitations to it. If you have shallow slopes or flat surfaces, it's not going to show up as well. But the theory is that with just the 4 filaments, you could create up to 39 different shades of colors in a print. And again, there's a lot more to it, and I'll leave a link to a YouTube video that does a good description of this. But it's gaining a lot of popularity right now, and there's a lot of possibilities. For example, one I was thinking of is, in a previous video I did a mini-me, which had 7 colors. Now I had to use 2 AMSs with my P1S. It took 21 hours. It took a lot of filament waste to do. So what if I can use this full spectrum filament to create a print like this? It's just one of the many possibilities. So let's look at this new slicer and see how it's done. Okay, here's our chicken that we're going to print using the full spectrum colors. So I've drawn it in and I made my 4 colors, the cyan, magenta, yellow, and the key here is black. Now when this fork of the slicer was made, you'll see the thing that is added is mixed filaments. So if you click on that, you've got 6 more colors that you can add, and what it does is it does a mix of the different colors. For example, number 5 here is a mix of filaments 1 and 2. So cyan and magenta alternating each way gives you a kind of purplish color. Number 6 is the cyan and yellow, gives you the green color. Okay, so you get 10 different colors here, but you could add more. So if, for example, I've added one here, I just change it and say I want it to be a mixture of the cyan and the yellow, but I want to make it more pink. So I slide it this way, and now you'll see the layering is more of the magenta and then one of the yellow and more of the magenta. So now I've got 11 colors to choose from. So now the way you can do this is, as you see here, this is just a regular 4-color print, the 4 colors we have up here. If we want to change it, we can just color it. And now the coloring on this thing is a little different because it's got a lot of different angles on here, but we can start doing something. For example, if we want to change the wings here, I can pick a color, I can go fill, and I can kind of slide to get some of the color in, and I can do the bottom half in a different color. So I can do that. I can go in here, get a better look at it. I can change to the other tool to refine my colors. And you can spend a lot of time coloring on this. And for this demonstration, I'm going to limit it. But then we can go back here to the back fins. I can change them around. Okay, and then this top one will make a different one. And again, it's a little tricky coloring because of the way this is set out. There's a lot of edges on here. But you can take your time and color it. Okay, and there it is. I've colored it. Now I can slice it. But the one thing you'll notice that I didn't do on this, and I wanted to show you this once we get the times up here. So the time to print this is 3 hours and 45 minutes. And just using those 4 colors to create all this. But if we go back here, The one thing we need to do is the layer height. We have it 0.2, so you're going to see every switch in there. So we need to switch this down to 0.08 for a layer. So like I said, when we do it with when did it with a 0.2, it was like just over 3 hours to print. Let's see how long it takes to print at a 0.08 layer height. So you see adding all those colors, and you also see that the prime tower changed a lot. Going from a 0.2 up to down to a 0.08, switch it from 3 hours to print to 12 hours to print. So you're going to get a lot of time on the print, but you're not going to have the filament waste that you would have on a normal single nozzle printer. But that's just the basics of how full spectrum works, and there's a lot of capabilities, I believe, that are coming down the line when we keep working with this. So this is just a basic idea of how it works. So there it is. There's my 5 recommendations for things you should try printing when you first get your Snapmaker U1. Do you agree with that? Do you have some other ideas of things to print to get to look at the capabilities of this machine? Now again, you could be using this straight as a 3D printer, printing off lots of useful stuff. But for me, the issue is, what else can we do? For example, this full spectrum printing. Snapmaker U1 is looking to embrace these open source users that have brought capabilities. And so look for more things that we can do with that in the future. But my point is for you is, don't think of this just as another printer. Think of the additional things you could be doing. A multiple tool head at a more commercial-based price allows the hobbyist, such as ourselves, to do more with our printers. And I think we should be embracing that. So that's my pitch. What do you think? Do you agree, disagree? Leave me a comment below. But please like this video and subscribe. Helps me out with my channel. So I'm Rick, and I'm looking for challenges and retirements. And this is one of the challenges I think I'm going to enjoy. So until next time, take care.